So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. First drive coming up here for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have really had to cobble things together at this quarterback position. You think back to the beginning of the year, Ben Roethlisberger there, then he goes down with the elbow injury. Enter Mason Rudolph, a combination of injury and ineffectiveness, put him on the bench, and then Devlin Hodges coming in. A lot of good with Devlin Hodges, but some mixed results as well. So we'll see what the Steelers have down the stretch here as they try to make that playoff push for the final spot in the AFC. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Hodges now. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. 20, 10, 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Samuels, 78 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Ravens offense coming onto the field. There's quarterback Lamar Jackson. And don't want to hand out awards until the season's officially over. But
MVP.
Yeah, I think the engraver's workbench is prepped and ready to go to put his name on there. NFL record for rushing yards in a season by a quarterback, passing Michael Vick in Week 15 against the Jets. If you're looking at the playoffs, what do teams need to do to slow down Lamar Jackson?
Well, what they're going to try to do is take away all of the running game. And that means you've got to take away Mark Ingram as well, his tailback. Because if he gets things established running inside, that's when Lamar Jackson's really dangerous, faking it to him and getting to the edges. But you're going to put extra people with eyes on him to try and take away the run. So for the playoffs, Lamar Jackson, just be prepared to hit those layups downfield because there will be open receivers.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. And here now, the Baltimore offense.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson, he's got it to Ingram, complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 23. Now Jackson on first down. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
Boswell good with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. As the Ravens come back out here on offense, we talked about Lamar Jackson earlier, Charles, but these Ravens, they rolled through the middle part of the season. Couple losses in September, but undefeated in October, November, and rolled that into December. They've answered every big question thus far. The wins over Seattle, New England, Houston, the Rams, the Niners and Bills as well. Are they the favorites to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in Miami on February 2nd?
I believe they are because they are a complete team. As much as Lamar Jackson powers everything on offense, he has Marquise Hollywood Brown out wide. He can throw the ball deep too. Dependable tight ends led by Mark Andrews. Really good offensive line. Mark Ingram can run it. The defense comes at you from every imaginable angle. And if you're trying to prepare on offense for them, it is hard to do, and your quarterback gets hit a lot. And they have the best kicker in the league in Justin Tucker. That's a big formula for success when come playoff time.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll try and run it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. These RPOs are all part of the new Baltimore offensive scheme. They changed coordinators in the offseason, and the thought was to utilize more run-pass options to take advantage of the versatile skill set of Lamar Jackson. Remember, they revamped things last year midseason when Jackson became the starter and then did more of a full overhaul after the coaching change this summer. But Jackson will tell you that kept he and his offensive mates busy trying to learn, adjust, and implement. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big time play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Jackson now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, Ingram. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, Ingram. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Jackson from the shotgun. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense trots back out. Charles, this is a team beginning of the year. You think back, they started 1-4, and it's a string of 15 consecutive non-losing seasons. We thought that was going to be snapped. Turns out it won't be snapped. It'll go to 16 consecutive seasons without a losing record. For Mike Tomlin, is this maybe his most impressive coaching job this year?
I don't think there's any doubt about it in my mind, and I know that when you win a Super Bowl, there's nothing more impressive than that. But as you mentioned, starting 1-4, and then go back to this. Ben Roethlisberger, their starting quarterback, their franchise face, no, gets hurt out pretty early. Mason Rudolph, very inconsistent. Remember, they traded Joshua Dobbs in the preseason, so they turned it over to Devlin Hodges, an undrafted free agent out of Samford. That's in Birmingham, Alabama, folks. Nicknamed Duck because of the duck calling championships in his past. I think that's who they hand the ball to down the stretch and ride with Duck Devlin all the way to the playoffs if possible.
By the way, how about that grizzly beard that Ben Roethlisberger's been sporting?
How about that? Ben's got a little winter growth going right there and supporting his team, and he's hoping that beard shows up in January when Pittsburgh's playing in the playoffs.
Throwing now, Hodges on 1st down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Well, let's get back to the playoff picture. We talked about the AFC. Let's look at the NFC. Still, that race starting to come into focus. We know most of the teams. Seahawks, 49ers, Saints, and Packers all in. Vikings in good shape. How do you handicap this race? It seems like anyone can beat anyone.
I think you're spot on, because if you were going into the playoffs with these teams that we're going to talk about, who would you make the absolute favorite? It could be anyone, right? It could be Seattle. It could be San Francisco. It could be New Orleans. I know Minnesota's probably going to come in as a wild card. Green Bay will come in as a division champ, it looks like. But bottom line is, Dallas or Philadelphia's got to win the NFC East. And I don't know that anyone wants to go to their home field and play when they have to play in a divisional game. So when it comes to
down the numbers, there he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Samuels with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 21-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
It's complete to Snead. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Outright, this is Boyle, the tight end. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Steelers. Does the big boy have the juice? 30. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The team's already back out there, so let's not waste any time, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they? Yeah. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Here's Hodges looking to throw.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the llast possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
That second down run, a big help, as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And that will be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Hodges. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Go! 10-2 stop. Now.
On 1st and 10, it's Hodges. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
60 picks.
They'll run here with Connor. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now it's Hodges. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on. Showed some of his improv skills there, getting flushed out of the pocket but still able to make the throw for the score.
So that means he's not a method actor?
No.
Because with the improv means break character when you need to. And in the NFL, when you have those guys chasing you, sometimes you have to break character in a big way. But I love the fact that he stayed downfield, kept his eyes up, and made the play. How many rookies do that well?
Boswell good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Ingram again. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
It's going to be a long day.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Ravens on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That's pulled in at the 32. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
91.
Off the bootleg, Hodges. And it's hauled in by Nick Vannett. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner, his 2nd touchdown of the night as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Ravens taking the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Jackson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson throwing again. Jackson hit and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. They'll run on 1st down. Conner, that's shedding his way forward. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeout in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. He's going to take off with it. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop anything.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Patrick Owasor gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
So the sack means it's third and goal now from the 10. Third and goal. Hodges to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Boswell's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Jackson, and this one complete to Seth Roberts. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. Jackson. And that's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Jackson now. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. He was looking for Mark Ingram there. And now it's second down. An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at third and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. Looking for the... And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Minkah Fitzpatrick. Gets past one man. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.